Today, we're diving into one of the most dramatic and fascinating chapters in history, the story of the Tudors, a family of power, scandal, and legacy that shaped the course of England forever. From the rise of Henry VII after the bloody Wars of the Roses, to the chaotic love life of Henry VIII and the brilliance of Elizabeth III's golden reign, the Tudors were anything but ordinary. Stay tuned as we unravel their incredible story, right here on Yaku TV. The Tudors are one of the most fascinating dynasties in history, a family whose power, scandals, and legacy changed England forever. Their story began in 1485, a time when England was in chaos. The Wars of the Roses had torn the nation apart as two rival houses, Lancaster and York, battled for the crown. Then came Henry Tudor, a man determined to bring an end to this bloodshed. With his victory at the Battle of Bosworth, Henry VII became king, and the Tudor dynasty was born. Henry VII was not a charismatic ruler, but he was a shrewd one. He married Elizabeth of York, uniting the warring factions and solidifying his claim to the throne. His reign focused on restoring stability and filling the royal treasury. Under his leadership, England began to heal. He wasn't a king who sought glory in battle or grandeur in court. Instead, he played the long game, building a foundation for his family's future. But it wasn't Henry VII who captured the world's imagination. That honor would go to his son, Henry VIII. Henry VIII is perhaps the most famous Tudor, a man larger than life in every sense. He became king in 1509, young, handsome, and full of ambition. But his reign would be defined not just by his political moves, but by his personal life. Henry VIII had 6 wives, each one entangled in stories of love, betrayal, and tragedy. His obsession with securing a male heir led him to break from the Catholic Church, a decision that sent shockwaves through Europe. The creation of the Church of England wasn't just a religious move, it was a political one, allowing Henry to divorce his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, and marry Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn's story is one of ambition and downfall. She was clever, charming, and determined, but her inability to give Henry a son sealed her fate. Accused of adultery and treason, she was executed, leaving behind her daughter, Elizabeth. Henry moved on, marrying Jane Seymour, who finally gave him the male heir he desperately wanted. But happiness was short-lived. Jane died soon after giving birth. His subsequent marriages were less dramatic but still significant. Anne of Cleves, his 4th wife, was chosen from a portrait, but when Henry met her, he declared she looked nothing like her picture. Their marriage was quickly annulled. Catherine Howard, his 5th wife, was young and lively, but accused of infidelity and executed. Finally, Catherine Parr, his 6th wife, outlived him and provided some semblance of stability in his final years. Henry VIII's death in 1547 marked the end of an era, but the Tudor drama was far from over. His only son, Edward VI, became king at just 9 years old. Edward was intelligent but frail, and his reign was dominated by advisors and regents. His focus was on advancing Protestant reforms, but his health deteriorated rapidly. He died at the age of 15, leaving the throne in crisis. The next ruler was Mary I, Henry's eldest daughter by Catherine of Aragon. Mary was a devout Catholic and set out to restore her faith in England. Her reign was marked by the persecution of Protestants, earning her the nickname Bloody Mary. Her efforts to bring England back to Catholicism were met with resistance, and her marriage to Philip of Spain was deeply unpopular. She died childless, paving the way for her half-sister Elizabeth to take the throne. Elizabeth I was a monarch unlike any other. The daughter of Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth had survived political and religious turmoil to become queen. Her reign, known as the Elizabethan era, is often seen as a golden age for England. She ruled with intelligence, charisma, and a keen sense of diplomacy. Under her leadership, England defeated the Spanish Armada, a victory that solidified its status as a major naval power. The arts flourished, with Shakespeare producing some of his greatest works. Elizabeth never married, famously declaring herself married to her country. Her decision to remain single ensured she retained full control of her power. The Tudor dynasty ended with Elizabeth's death in 1603, With no heirs, the crown passed to the Stuart family, bringing an end to one of history's most dramatic eras. But the Tudors left an indelible mark on England. They transformed the monarchy, reshaped religion, and ushered in a period of cultural and political growth that still resonates today. The Tudors were not just rulers, they were characters in a real-life drama. Their lives were filled with triumph and tragedy, love and betrayal, ambition and downfall. They remind us that history isn't just about dates and events, it's about people, their choices, and their legacies. The story of the Tudors is a story of power, scandal, and a legacy that continues to captivate the world.